So this is what I'm currently working on. I'm gonna plant the blueberries in these containers. We have clay, so we've seen some evidence of the trees that were planted here falling over at some point and then being propped back up. So I think this will be good. I've seen people do it just so they can control the pH levels a little bit easier. So that's another benefit of doing this, but I think it's kind of a necessity because they're going to be planted in clay. So what I've been trying to do is I've wanted to make a little X in the middle here so that the roots could come out easily, but this product of China is impressively sturdy. So I've ended up having to cut through here just to kind of fiddle with the integrity a little bit. I can't cut through the center, so that's something I'll probably have to troubleshoot with my husband later, but I'm gonna just go ahead and plant the ones that I have today. I only have 4 plants, so I think they can handle it. I think they can bust out of here okay. So once I get finished with these, I'm gonna dig some holes and we'll put those babies in the ground. I have never before been so afraid of plastic. Like, I'm afraid I'm gonna cut myself on this. It's really sharp. It's very sturdy. I think this is the kind of plastic that you can like decompose bodies in, I think it's this kind. I was on the last one. I was almost done. Wow. Well, I went in the garage. I don't know what these are, but they look like they'll do the trick. Okay, so Hagrid's nail clippers did the trick, and I'm heading outside to dig. Okay, already beginning. So I will let them stay here while I'm digging, but yesterday I brought the plants out of my van for a couple seconds, and they all came running over to see what they were. So once I'm ready to put the plants actually in the ground, I'm gonna have to use some food as a decoy to get them on the other side of the house. Otherwise, they're gonna notice them immediately. So when I was figuring out where to start, I saw that there is already quite a big hole, which is part of a smaller trench. And I mean, why make my life harder? It's half dug already, so that's where I'm gonna start. All right, look at this. I'm getting like no resistance with the shovel. This is just absolute mush. It's absolute mush. That's why all their trees fell over and had to be propped back up. I mean, I don't even need a shovel. So the more things we plant and the more roots we have, the more we're composting over time. Hopefully we can turn this clay into a better kind of soil. Well, I wanted to get all 4 holes dug before I took a break. But of course the last one is the hardest one for some reason. The clay is really compacted right there. So I've been working at that a while and haven't got very far. So I'm just gonna let it maybe dry out a little bit and come back and try again later. And this little lady's gonna help me. I'm gonna throw some worms in there. So whoever came up with the name Coop Deck definitely had chickens. So you will get sprayed with water. Do not come over here. So I could not dig this hole. I could not dig this hole any further. So I thought that would be a good experiment. And I'm just putting this one right into the clay. I am not adding the peat moss because I don't want this to be retaining any more water than it's going to be already. But for the others, I will do a little bit of peat moss and a little bit of this acidifier that I have. It'll turn your hydrangeas blue. Okay, so this has been the most stressful gardening experience of my life. Not because of the plants, because of my children and my animals. I have been fighting off every single animal I had. Okay, these plants need acidic soil. The hole that I dug last, the cat came over and peed into. So then the chickens come over. They will destroy these. So I've been spraying animals with hoses. At one point, my son was missing, didn't tell me where he was going, and I had to call the police. And then my daughter was eating mud while I was looking for my son. It's just been that kind of day. Okay, first guy, he's in the ground with compost and soil and sulfates, no peat moss. He's gonna have plenty of moisture with all of that clay. And then the rest of them, they got their sulfates and their soil topped with the peat moss because they are gonna need to hold water in their containers. So we will see how they do. When these get big, you're not gonna really be able to pick berries from the other side of these two because you're pretty much gonna fall off that hill, but that's okay because they're here, so they are not accessible to the deer. This is gonna be closed off and it's just not a path that they're gonna be taking. So it'll at least be safe from the deer. As far as the chickens go, it's 50-50. Well, now I can just relax and have a glass of wine, except I drank it all yesterday. So thanks for watching. Send wine.